Hello, this is Alert Day Trading. I hope you're all doing well. I just wanted to make a quick video on a couple trades I took today. One being Netflix. Netflix is doing really well at the moment. I took two trades. The first one I took was a loss. That trade was with, there was a stock pushing up higher today, SPAQ. I'll go into that one after I talk about Netflix trade. The Netflix trade is still actually bringing in some profits right now. I did put a trailing stop loss, so we'll see how far it'll go. But basically what I traded today was I took 3 entries with Netflix. The first being the 5-minute entry. And you can see here we had a high. Let's make a nice long line here. It's about 524. And so you can see we kind of had some resistance there, and you pulled back all the way down to 511. And so basically what I'm looking for is the price to break back above that high. And this happens to be the all-time high for Netflix. So as the price broke above it, that's when I got interested. And you can see we had a small pullback. So pretty much, if you draw some trend lines here, you'll see there's a nice bull flag here. And then you can see this stop loss level. This is where I would put my stop loss. And that's been holding very well. And so my original entry was right above this 524 area. I think ultimately my entry was right above 525, and my stop loss right below 520, so that's a risk of $5. So for entering at 525, you can see the price, the high is hit 542, which is $17. So currently the trade is a 3-to-1 risk to reward, so definitely a great trade in that respect. I did take profits at around 530. I took profits at 535, so every $5 increment, every risk level. And so once I get past about my second risk to reward, I start using a trailing stop loss, partly because if you look at the price, it's a $500 stock, so it did take up a lot of my capital. So my size wasn't as big as I would like. So once I reached my second risk level, I just put in a trailing stop loss, and we got up to 5. The third risk level would be 540. We broke above that. So basically my trailing stop is, I actually increased it a little bit to about 1.5 risk, just because with such a high price stock, you do have, I think, wider price movements. So instead of a $5 trailing stop loss, I put $7.50. And so if the price, so the high was 542.20. So if you subtract $7.50 from there, if the price hits below that level, it'll stop me out completely. So I've basically guaranteed myself pretty much a risk to reward of 2-to-1 on this trade, which is what I try to achieve on every winning trade. It doesn't always happen. And if we continue to push up higher, then I might guarantee myself to almost a 3-to-1, and we'll see how much higher it'll go. That's why I do put the trailing stop, because I don't want to limit my reward. But at the same time, I don't want to give too much profit away if it does go down a certain amount. So that's pretty much my trade on Netflix. I'll go over my trade on SPAQ, and here's where I took a loss. And you can see this red line here was the previous all-time high, and we broke above that. and I took a trade on the 1 minute. And now this is where I'm needing to make some adjustments. So I took 2 trades on this. The first being right here, where the price broke above the red line, and then we had a pullback. So the pullback went below the red line, and that's okay. But the next bar closed. There was no bar. None of this bar reached above that red line. So we pretty much just kind of had a fake out here. So in that sense, I'm wondering if I should just leave any of this alone, even though we broke above the all-time high. And if you look, the second trade I took, we broke back above. So this was the new high, and we broke back above it, and then we had a pullback. And this is a much better pullback because the bar that I would use to enter my trade includes some of the bar is above that all-time high. And so my second trade was the break above that level right there. So I did end up taking a second entry, and then ultimately getting stopped out because you can see the trade just kind of went straight down. But if I'm more picky, if I'm pickier on my entries, I would have only taken one trade, one loss on this stock instead of 2. So that's pretty much what I'm kind of needing to think about and deciding on. But anyway, the most important thing is you stick to your stop loss rules. Your risk management is extremely important. And even though I took 2 losses on this trade, my Netflix profits are outweighing the losses I took. So that's a really good example of why you need to really manage your risk to reward and manage your risk in every trade. So as long as you're making more than you lose, I think obviously that's the most important. You can see here Netflix is starting to push down higher. Looks like maybe the trend is ending. Let's see on a larger time frame. So you can see a little bit of you can see these small red candles and then a lot of green candles, but now you're starting to see a little bit more red candle. So I'll probably get, well, I don't know, but looks like I might get stopped out and close out completely. So that I'm guaranteed a risk to reward of 2 to 1 on this trade. If I had more position, I would have taken some profits at 3 to 1. If you look at my previous videos, you see that I'm still taking some statistics on this strategy. So far, I am getting a positive expectancy on the strategy, so I'm happy with the results, and increasing my risk and increasing my size as I go along. So I'm still in the process of all that, and so far I think heading in the right direction. I've been pretty good with my discipline and only taking trades that follow this plan. So anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to share with you. If you have any specific questions about my strategy or how I choose or find stocks, let me know. But basically, I'm just looking for stocks breaking above their all-time highs, waiting for a pullback, and then waiting for a good entry and risk to reward, a good risk to reward that is in my favor. All right. Well, good luck with all your trading. And again, this is just my opinion, how I see the markets. This is not. I'm still learning, but if you can learn from any of my good behaviors, any of my mistakes, that's definitely a bonus. And good luck.